The Braves had a monumental task ahead of them in the Class 3A Regional Final, trying to defeat number 1 ranked West Lafayette. The Braves would get the midfield, but on 2nd and 9, Derek Azobu was picked off by free safety Gabe Klinker. West Lafayette's high-octane offense would go to work. However, they did not enjoy the large chunks of yards they were used to. Rather, they dinked and dunked to the Braves' 3-yard line. The Braves' defense would dig in and deny the Red Devils from scoring a touchdown, and limit them to a field goal after a sack by Stephen Walker on 3rd and 3. The Braves' offense would move the ball to the West Lafayette 22, but a sack by Purdue-bound defensive end George Karloftis ended the threat. After the defense forced a punt, the Braves' offense would go on the attack, with a great balance of run and pass, to put together an 89-yard touchdown drive that was capped off by a Derek Azobu 2-yard touchdown run. After the extra point was blocked, the Braves would lead 6-3. Both defenses would dominate the rest of the half. The Braves would swallow up the Red Devil run game, and the West Lafayette D would make life miserable for the Braves' passing attack. Neither offense gained traction and would go to the half with the score still 6-3. The Braves D would force a 3-and-out by the Red Devil offense, and the Braves offense would get the ball back inside the 30, but a sack and a 4th down incompletion would give the ball back to West Lafayette. After getting the ball back, the Red Devils drove into Brave territory, riding their massive offensive line and running back Sage Hood. But again, the defense made a huge stop on 4th and 1 when Walker knifed through, stopping Hood for a 1-yard loss. After a great punt by Alex Bevelheimer pinned West Lafayette at their own 3, the Red Devils would get the ball back and put together a drive that would get the ball to the Brave 22. After an injury to cornerback Thomas Wilson, junior Adam Vanderkoy would make an interception of quarterback Luke Tolukian, ending the threat. The Braves offense would take over at their own 20 and would drive down to the West Lafayette 20, but a sack of Azobu lost the Braves 16 yards and a chance at a field goal attempt. West Lafayette would get another opportunity to tie or take the lead. The offense would drive to their own 47. Disaster would strike for the Braves as a busted coverage in the secondary would lead to a Tolukian to Kyle Hazel 53-yard touchdown pass and a 10-6 West Lafayette lead with 1:15 to go in the game. But the lead would be short-lived. Daniel Ingram would field the squib kick, take it to the left, and pitch it to Miles McElwain, who would do the rest, taking it 75 yards to pay dirt in a 13-10 Braves lead with 55 seconds left to play. West Lafayette would try a last-ditch effort to score, but after muffing the kick, they would have to drive from their own 2. A few scrambles and completions got them into Braves territory, but a strip sack by Jay Higgins ended the game and sent the Braves to semi-state. Over the past 6 weeks, no unit has been more opportunistic than the Braves special teams, scoring 8 touchdowns in the last 6 games.
Yeah, I went through and we have scored, I think, 8 or 9 touchdowns from defense or special teams that have caused out of like 20, 25, and somewhere in 20, 25 touchdowns total. So it's obviously been a big part of our success. The biggest thing that's kind of neat is the fact that it's not just one unit doing it. You know, our punt return team's doing it with blocks. They're doing it with returns with Gabe. Kick return, obviously, as you saw last week, was doing it with Miles. We were able to have some success there.
We've come to realize that we can have a huge impact on the game, and so we get excited for special teams. We put in the best guys we have, and it's not a time when we're taking a break. It's a time when we're trying to make a difference in the game, and we're going as hard as we can because we know we can make plays.
I think we all kind of have embraced the idea of like it's 11 guys, and we all, at least for me, I know a lot of guys with me get excited to go in and play special teams. So I think we all like to make the best, like make the most of it. Try. We only are out there for one play, so might as well be a touchdown. So
we just take pride in it, even in practice. A lot of teams, I know a lot of practice, even in the past years, we kind of like taking those reps off, kind of not really taking advantage of what we had. And this year we really go at it in practice on our kick return, punt return, And every game it shows on the field. Some other teams, they take a breath and we don't, and we're flying 110 miles an hour like we always do, and that's why we're so successful at it.
Approach to special teams is like we take a lot of pride in it. We come out there, me and Simon especially, we'll go out there and we'll be like, we're gonna block this kick, or we're gonna do this and that to get the kick blocked. Or we take pride in getting like Miles or Gabe in the end zone on kickoff return, landing our blocks. We don't look at it as like special teams, or like a lot of teams will try to take it off as a starter. We treat it as like, if it's offense or defense, like it's life or death, and we need to score.
My mindset is definitely score every time. Coach Clint, he might say get as much as you can get, but the way our walls are set up, usually I think there's always like a chance where I can try to break away, so I'm always trying to score. I think the goal is going to be the same as it's been the past couple of weeks. It's definitely a game changer for us. So, whether it be a block or a return for a touchdown, it's just good field position. I think we're just trying to make sure that we keep it up and don't stop.
For me, I just know that I can trust them. I don't like fair catching punts, so I know that they'll get the blocks, and most of the touchdowns that I've had, the blocking has been perfect. I mean, I haven't been touched. So it just all comes down to trusting your teammates and got to take care of the rest. Either way, if they kick it to me or not, if they kick it to me, we'll make something happen. But if they don't kick it to me, that's good field position for the team. So either way, it's good for us.
Every week we're kind of finding something we like and are getting ready to attack, or we're going to face something we think that we can exploit on the other end or whatnot. So it's been a lot of fun. It's really fun to see our punt return team get excited trying to block every punt now. They get a little over anxious sometimes, but it's still a lot of fun to see those guys at least want to be out there, even though they're starters on offense or starters on defense or whatnot.
The Braves' next opponent is the Knights of Mishawaka-Marion.
I think they've been really focused. I don't think it's been anything where they're getting distracted in regards to, oh my gosh, next week we can play at Lucas Oil. Most of these kids have played at Lucas Oil, so that makes it not as big of a deal, I think. But I do think that they are, worried about the task at hand. I do think that they see the opportunity now with what, we look at the rankings. West Lafayette was number 1, and they were, by far the number 1. And then you knock them off. So obviously you're going to start to think a little bit like, oh my gosh, we got a real shot to make a run at this thing after you knock a team like that off. But we've also regrouped, and we've talked about what Mishawaka-Marion presents. We are concerned about their number 9, that he's also their leading tailback. He's a really, really, really good runner, and more I watch him, it makes me more nervous or kind of excited too, because he's really good on grass. We're going to be playing on, kind of a surface we're not used to, because we play on so many turf fields now. And he's really good at cutting on grass, and he doesn't get going too quickly or whatnot. His feet are always under him. We've never played these guys, so I think that they are definitely looking at it as a challenge. The good side for our defense is that they do run some triple option stuff. We got to see some of that versus Southmont. And then defensively, they're they're going to bring pressure from their front 3. They're not as bringing crazy pressure like last week with West Lafayette. So it should be a fun, interesting matchup. Hopefully the weather can be good for us, because I know that they're probably cheering for hopefully tall grass and wet fields.
The Braves travel to Mishawaka to take on the Knights at 7 p.m. for a chance to punch a ticket to Lucas Oil Stadium and the 3A state championship game.